How you doing, people of the internet, interwebs, social media networks? This is the Musings of the Modern World podcast. And today, me and two of my brothers, should I say, are going to review Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'll introduce myself. It's my first podcast ever. History in the making. Ersan Turk. And to the right of me,
Adrian Conlon.
Allan Ashton.
And so, yeah, let's get started, boys.
Right, so where do we begin? What were your expectations going in? Obviously,
Right.
Generally they're pretty high for most people.
My expectations, I think after watching the trailer I watched the trailer and I was blown away by the trailer at first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one film I was really hoping was going to live up to the trailer's expectations. So, which was very high for me.
And the reviews as well were just stellar.
Yeah.
There was just no fault. It was just like good review after great review, amazing review.
Yeah.
Just kept getting you more and more psyched.
Yeah, I was over the moon actually when that happened. I mean, I'm not somebody who I rely on reviews, but if a film has the general consensus of a film has great reviews, I'm always
Especially
it's a plus.
A film that like this doesn't usually get such stellar stuff, does it? I mean, except for things like The Raid.
See, for me, it was more of the case of, like I mentioned the other day when I said, I just wanted to stay away from all the reviews. I wanted to go in there clear-minded, no influencing thoughts or anything like that. Just
So you didn't read one review?
Like I said, I only looked at the IGN score.
What was that?
And that was a 9.2. That was it. I didn't look at the pros and the cons or anything like that. I was just like, bang, look at the score. That's it. I didn't want to look at anything else. So I kept telling you guys not to say anything. Leading up to the film, I was like, don't tell me any reviews. I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I just want to go in there. That's it.
Yeah.
Some of it I couldn't really escape because you go through Facebook. Like Empire says, read our 5-star review, and you think, oh, fuck. Yeah. Do you know, it's you can't really escape it, some of it.
Yeah.
So we can obviously say that our expectations were higher than...
Yeah. And what about where they met overall?
So the judgment of the movie, exceeded.
Yeah.
It's awesome, guys. Seriously, I know you're expecting us to say this, but it was amazing.
It was. I think you start feeling, coming out, and you're still buzzing off it, and you're just digesting, processing what you watched.
And it was a spectacle.
And were you fans of the original series?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't huge fan. I liked it. I wasn't like a fanboy.
Personally, for me, the second one was really the one I loved out of all of them. I mean, the original one is it's brilliant for what it was. Yeah. But for me,
we're growing up. I knew Road Warrior. That's what I knew. And I always remember the VHS tape. I used to go around to my friends. I used to put it on and watch it. Bearing in mind I was only 10 years old. No, 5, something like that. 6, watching films like that.
Yeah, I remember my dad watching that with my dad. He'd always show us films that we weren't supposed to watch.
Yeah, I went through the same thing.
Yeah, I used to watch Commando when I was 5 as well. Hence my love for Arnold.
Predator.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, I watched Predator I think I must have been 7 or 8. And I watched it every day for months.
Yeah, hardly enough. But I mean, this film is just...
Yeah, it's not next level, isn't it, really? Yeah. It really is.
You couldn't really show this to kids.
Well, I don't know.
No, this is nowhere near... I mean, violence-wise, it doesn't touch the first one. Oh, sorry, it doesn't touch the second one. Because the second one was more... That was more shocking, because you see them chasing down people, they kill the guy and then they rape his wife and then they kill the woman afterwards or whatnot. That's fucked up. Yeah. In this, you don't get any of that. The max you get from this is someone getting shot or a woman.
I don't know. Some of the bits, like with the baby when he
By
the way, it's going to be spoilers. By the way, yes. We will put this in the title of the video and the podcast.
Yeah, sorry, missed that out at the beginning, guys.
Yes, this is going to be a spoilerific review.
Yeah. So if you don't want to,
tune off.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the film. I mean, there's some pretty intense moments in the film. I thought the bit with the way he was handling the baby, it was quite raw.
That was
probably the rawest. But apart from that, I think, nothing was more like. Although I was about to talk about the end, but I was like, but then we are saying it's spoilers. So his face. No, there was a couple actually. You know when the guy's on the spring and he's coming forward like that. And he shoots him straight in his chest, and his chest blows up. You can see his fucking rib cage in that. That was awesome. That was pretty graphic.
I mean, it was just relentless. The action was just relentless. I mean, it's one of those films that actually I could probably go watch again, because I feel like so much happened that my brain hasn't processed it all.
Yeah.
All the action.
When I was sitting there, I had like my thing of Coke, and I like put it up to my lips, took a sip, and then half an hour later, the fucking straw was still on my lip. Watching it. That's like how on the edge of your seat intense it was. Like,
yeah,
immersive.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think just to give you guys a breakdown of what the film's like, it is literally start, action, slows down for a bit, then action again, slows down for a bit, and action again, and it was just...
Yeah, it has these little moments of breathers.
Yeah.
But just enough. Just
character development.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually loved all those little moments.
Yeah.
They were brilliant.
And they all done that within an hour and a half of the film as well.
I know.
That was only an hour and a half.
It was everything I wanted it to be in terms of pace. You know, it was just spot on the pacing of that film. I think it ended at the right time as well. Yeah. You know, I'm still on a buzz about it. I just can't believe how good it was.
The thing I loved most about it is, like I said to you earlier, like action films now, you don't know what the hell's going on in the action sequences. The editing, you're like, okay, so who's hit who? Where's that gone?
Yeah.
But this, it was completely, even though it was like frenetic and
it was just
fire, you could understand what the hell was going on. When one person got shot, you saw the outcome of that, and when this car flipped over, you saw you didn't just see random shit happening.
But it's also with the motorcycles, when the motorcycles are jumping, like one motorcycle will jump from there, then it'll cut to a front shot, and it'll be dropping, that same motorcycle will be dropping a bomb on the truck as well, and it'll be landing. Even that was just...
Yeah. It was completely
seamless.
Coherent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see in many action films nowadays.
That's probably down to things, whether he uses original editors or something like that, or maybe that's just down to his direction, his storyboarding.
It was like Oscar worthy.
Yeah, I think that this definitely should be nominated for Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely best sound, best
production design.
Yeah, the sound design on this film was just unreal. I mean, it was just incredible, absolutely incredible. All the grinding and the engines and just mind blowing.
Yeah, it is an orgy fest of just mechanical machinery and just.
Would you say it makes Fast and the Furious?
Oh fuck!
It's night and day, night and day.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Fast and Furious 5 was pretty awesome, but come on, it's not
Fast and
not
Furious
on the
5
same
is a
level.
superhero movie in a sense because they do the stuff they do in there is ridiculous. That Mad Max Fury Road is realistic.
Yeah,
that's proper fucking. You know, this is that what they do. You know, they jump from. I'll spoil alert again if you haven't seen.
That's
Furious
right.
7.
It's all going to be spoilers now.
So it's like they jump off a building. So there's 3 buildings, and they use the fastest car in the world to jump from one building to another, and then to the other. That doesn't happen in real life, but in this film, you see real life car crashes. You see real life physics. People like on motorcycles jump from one bit to another. You know, not flipping the car around and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it brings you into the world, and it becomes believable as soon as you're in it. There's nothing that takes you out of it.
When Tom Hardy is like the bit where he's lying in the sand, he slowly gets up. You feel like you can fucking feel the sand. It's such like it's so dirty and fucking.
That's actually a good point. The cinematography in this film is lush. It's absolutely stunning.
Really colourful, Really that
really
rich,
and
rich.
Actually, I'm not sure. Do you know if this was shot on digital or film?
I don't know. The quality looks. They didn't have the 16 by. Didn't have the black things, did it? I'm not sure. My tech knowledge isn't that great, but can 35mm cameras do that?
So I don't know. I mean,
I think it's digital. I think it was digital. It come across digital because it was too colourful. I think it's down to whether that's the colour correction and the cinematography, but it was really rich in colour, and it didn't have the 35mm look, especially with the night shots. You can't really get that sort of look in a,
Were the night shots colour? Was it something done with the colour? That was it really night, or did they actually just turn down the?
Yeah, I mean it was very distinctive.
You can see
looking.
a bit of graininess in there. You can see some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not saturation. Well, is it maybe a bit of saturation? But 35mm lovers are probably going to shoot me for what I'm saying right now. So
I'm curious as to know because it was just stunning. If it is digital, then it's the best looking digital film I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's definitely so crisp and so just the colours just fucking
I don't know. I think Captain America might have even Captain America kind of looked really good in that sense as well. So I'm not sure. I think most films now are shot in digital, aren't they? It's like the norm now.
Yeah.
Obviously, apart from Abrams, Star Wars.
Yeah, Nolan, obviously, Quentin Tarantino.
they're all sticking
in the
with.
stick with film,
Yeah.
of course. I personally think nothing looks as good as 70mm film, even 35mm film
It will
yet.
Yeah.
But it'll happen eventually.
Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, for me,
Oh,
she stole the show.
yeah.
She stole the
was
show.
like the standout. Just
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about characters then. So
Yeah.
Charlize Theron, you start with her, yeah.
she wasn't like in your face badass like
No.
bring it on sort of fucking.
No, she was
action.
hard. She was
But
like
she
hard,
was like
hard upbringing.
the-
You know that
yeah.
fucked up thing, and just
But just like there were lots of shots of her just sort of looking round, like an intense look, and
Yeah.
she's like,
I just bought into her like the first moment she was on camera.
Yeah.
First moment I was like, oh yeah, I'm with her.
yeah,
She's badass. Yeah, she stole the show for me, man. Absolutely.
and definitely come across as her film rather than a Mad Max film, which leads on to
Is it Ferosa was her name?
Furiosa,
Furiosa?
Imperator. Yeah.
Furiosa.
Yeah. Yeah, she was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She'll probably, but I mean, you know, I'm probably jumping ahead, but she'll probably be part up there in like the. I'm going to use your word you were saying earlier.
Yeah, see.
Oh,
I was told off not to say this word earlier.
The pantheon,
pantheon.
Of female. It doesn't even have to be female. Just
Of action stars.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah.
Even though to think back on it, she really didn't do that much.
She didn't.
No, she
Action.
wasn't. No,
She
I
didn't.
think
She didn't.
you
She
look
well,
at the-
actually, yeah, she did when they were having that bit where they're all
Yeah.
having the firefight and.
But she was really good at just
Yeah.
hanging out of the car and fucking shooting stuff.
Yeah.
But that's. I mean, you're looking at if you're trying to compare it to other modern female strong dominant characters or whatnot that have been in film. You know, those women had more of a leadership
Yeah.
presence, whereas she was just like a warrior. That's how it came across to me. I'm not saying
She
that
was
was
a
a bad
leader.
thing. Was she though?
She was a lead. She
Yeah,
was,
she was like the second in command.
Exactly. You kind of saw, yeah, she was the second command. But even when Mad Max came in, you know, Mad Max was like, "I'll do this." And he's like, "Drive the car." He kind of took over in that sense.
yeah.
I hope people don't get
They kind of,
feminist fans or whatnot.
they kind of
Fucking
shared.
gonna be like, shit.
They kind
They
of
kind of
shared
did,
their
but
sort
they
of
kind of
thing,
did.
didn't
But
they?
you saw, it was him giving the orders, or well, shit.
There was no order given. It was just like
It wasn't. It was more of him giving direction in the sense, you know, saying,
You almost
"Drive
felt
the
like
car, do this."
they became in tune with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
they worked together well. But
Yeah.
I thought that in that sense, he had more of a. I think his experience probably helped him. You know, he was kind of dictating what's because he knew what was going to happen, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But she did kind of like take over, especially with the shooting as well.
Yeah.
Because
And she saved him.
Yeah,
She saved his life.
that's true. What do you think of Tom Hardy then, boys?
Thought he was brilliant. I think he downplayed the character a little bit,
Definitely
which I thought
understated.
understated performance. I thought he was brilliant. I did wonder a couple of times about the accent he was doing,
Which is my.
which was I think
That's
for you
mine.
is more of a problem. For me, it didn't bother me, but I did like, oh, what's he doing there?
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought he was very cool, and I don't think anybody else probably could have done it as well
No.
at the moment.
No, yeah. Well, like I said to you about 10 years ago, it would have been Russell Crowe.
Yeah, probably.
Could have been maybe 15 years ago. But
I
yeah,
think
no.
Russell Crowe maybe would have played it more similar to, more like Mel Gibson.
Well, I would say
think
Mel
he would've.
Gibson's portrayal has a slight edge.
Oh,
There's
it's-
something
I think
about
it's
Mel
got- it's
Gibson.
not-
He has
for me,
that
it's not
edge.
slight He's got,
Yeah.
because obviously he is Mad Max.
Yeah.
And not just because of that, but it's the way he played the character. And I couldn't help but compare Tom Hardy. I kept seeing, because I saw it's Mad Max. As soon as you see Mad Max, it's hard not to think or imagine Mel Gibson, because that's the first film I ever saw him in.
Yeah.
And I always remember that. But it's just his accent. His accent put me off so much.
I could barely hear the accent. I think it was
Kind of-
very slight.
It was, but it's.
But he was trying to do a slight
it's-
Australian.
It's like I said to you guys earlier.
Yeah.
He come very. It was like
That fire. Well, that sounds like Russell Crowe.
that, but his paranoia, the paranoia that he was showing, like his.
Yeah, but
just
obviously at that
nervousness of the
point in
character as
the
well.
story, you can see that he's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
By the beginning of that film, he's like a wreck, isn't he?
Yeah.
For people who haven't seen, because there's going to be some people who haven't seen the other Mad Max, they're just going to see it, and they're probably going to be wondering what's that? What's going on there?
Yeah.
So maybe they could have not pander to people that haven't seen the other ones, but maybe explained it a little bit more.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
Those flashbacks.
We would have lost some fucking action moments if they'd done that.
Maybe just 1-2 minute thing, you know. They
Well,
could
they
have
made the
added.
character his. That's what I'll give it.
I think they were pretty good with the way they'd done it. She saw like flashes of his daughter,
Yeah, you
like
can't-
throughout the film. You know what I mean? You knew that this stuff was going on.
Something's happened. I'm
Yeah.
sure people who haven't seen it, they would have.
Yeah, it's quite clear. Like, oh,
Yeah.
his daughter's dead.
Yeah.
He's obviously having trouble with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me it's nitpicky, but yeah, I suppose if you had to criticise it,
and with the accent as well, he mumbled quite a bit, but
it's kind of like speak up.
Yeah.
But it is really nitpicky. It really is.
Yeah. He's a fucking great actor.
It was brilliant.
And all the other characters, the brides.
I thought they were great. I absolutely thought they were great.
That little one was the one from Thing, innit? She was First Class. She was.
Porsche, with the wings.
That's Kravitz's daughter, isn't it? Or something like that.
Pixie, I think her name is.
Yeah, so.
And then we've got Nicholas Hoult. I didn't get his name, but I don't get his name in it.
No, I didn't either. He was really good as well.
He was really good, yeah. He was a little bit psychotic, a little bit twisted, a little bit.
I kind of like that whole idea with where they've got their religion. And it's like they want to die and go to Valhalla, but they want to die gloriously.
It's like a mix of Viking and martyrdom and all that.
Yeah,
and, the whole. I guess obviously like the Islamic State thing and whatnot.
Well, you see the
suicide bombers and that.
They're like worshipping the engines. They're gods. The engines are gods, like the V8. The little things like that were really cool.
Those sort of the mashup of the whole thing of Mad Max is just a mashup of so many things thrown in.
Yeah, and it's very plausible, isn't it? It's like if there was a post-apocalyptic world, that's what you imagine it would be like.
Yeah.
People would be fighting over resources, over water and oil and engines, and it would be like this.
It's funny because he's created a whole world in which cars are like the biggest technology, but everything else is primitive.
Yeah.
Everything. They haven't got any modern form of communication apart from writing and speak and signs. Yeah, because they were using Morse code. They haven't even got telephone lines or anything like that. So they've got no technology, but they've got cars.
No internet. Shit.
No shit.
I loved how they done the villain using the guy from the original.
Immortan Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was genius using him again as a villain and making him some sort
completely
of like
different,
Darth Vader type kind of character.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And when the way introduce you, where you can see him, and he's got all these like tumors or something on his body or something.
Yeah, because it was like they were blowing lime on it or something like
that.
I think that was it must have been lime.
And
then they cover him up in that outfit to keep it all in there, and he's got that gas mask that's pumping out the back of him.
Like Bane, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It sounded better than Bane as well. Bane you couldn't understand, but him you could easily understand.
Yeah. Oh, we go. Let's move away from that.
No, but I think going back to the production design, character design was, I think for me, like I said to you guys earlier, it's literally a whole world that he's created. The characters are brilliant. The design, the outfits were just fucking, it was brilliant. I loved it. He just created a whole modern post-apocalyptic fantasy world, and it was just it was like it kind of felt Game of Thronesy in a way. Games of Thronesy, but yeah.
Games of Thronesy.
What made me think that as well is when they go through the swampland, and you got the guys dressed in black on the sticks.
On the
just
stilts,
it's like on the stilts. They were just crossing. What were they finding in this? Just a deadland. Exactly, but that's what gave me that whole like sort of mystical fantasy feel in a sense.
Okay, so one thing that stuck out for me was the music. I thought it was just absolutely mind-blowing.
By Junkie XL.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't just him.
Yeah, I think he collaborated. It was mainly him. I think he was like probably the person
Did you say something about the Matrix? He worked on the Matrix.
Junkie XL.
But it's Junkie XL, but I'm not even sure whether it's a hero or group, but I think it was collaborations with other artists on each piece, on each song.
Yeah.
But either way, it was just fucking amazing throughout. Probably one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a long time.
Oh yeah, recent memory.
Yeah, and I think what I mentioned to you guys earlier, what I loved about it is that the fact that it was that good that he used it in the trailer, which is a little thing which doesn't even people don't even notice, but for me that's a big deal. And the fact that when it came on, because watching the trailer and listening to the music, going all the shots matching up to the music on the trailer, and then it kicks off in the movie as soon as the action starts, that got me straight away. I was up on the seat.
Yeah. And the guy in the guitar with the flamethrower, that was just
I think part of that mixed in with the actual music was like...
It was insane.
Yeah, so for me, they've done a really good job of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to be listening to the soundtrack all week on the way to work.
On the way
week.
back home. That's
Yeah.
that's on Spotify. So
Yeah.
it's definitely being done.
It just matched with the whole edge of your seat tension of the
Mm.
film. That it matched it perfectly. The high pitched sort of fucking and the synths and
But the Simpson, it all went really well. Even with the explosions, for some reason, it was just
yeah.
it was an orchestra of mechanical mayhem
Mm.
and synth music with mixed in with classical instruments and that. So it's just
Yeah.
And the beats and it was. I'll be listening to that as well.
yeah.
I don't usually listen to a lot of soundtracks to films, but that's definitely changed my.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of good soundtracks. For me, it's obviously part of a creative thing, and just I think a sense of chilling out, relaxation, a sense of escapism.
I don't think you'll get chilled out listening to the Mad Max soundtrack.
What's that?
I don't think you'll get chilled out listening to that.
Oh no, you get hyped. I think it'd be good listening before you go to the gym or just before you're going to go into a fight or something.
You just like stop the fight and go, wait a minute, I'm just gonna get my get my thing out and we'll just.
Wait, I'm just waiting for the minute mark. It's going to kick in now. Right, let's go.
Yeah, by then you're in hospital.
Yeah.
We should go into the details of the story, maybe. A bit. Again, the pacing of the story I thought was just brilliant.
The premise of it is simple.
But it's a very simple, basic story. And yeah, I guess it was predictable, but that's not the point, is it? That's not what you go see a Mad Max movie for.
No.
You don't go to see, I wonder what the twists and turns in this are going to be like.
No, definitely nothing.
Do you know what I mean? It's about buckling it in and going for a ride.
Yeah.
It was like,
and that's what it did. You know what I mean? It did what it says on the tin.
Yeah, I think that was the brilliance of it because it was very similar to the raid in that sense. Once the raid got started, that was it. And they had like a 5-minute gap when he's talking with his brother.
Oh, what, the first raid?
Yeah, the first raid, because it was literally guys storm a building, get trapped. That's it. They have to escape.
Relentless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was similar to this. You kind of, as soon as she veered off in the other direction, they clocked. And that all happened within first 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And then it just kicked off into a massive epic scene, which we'll get onto in a bit.
Yeah.
I was saying actually we'll move on to the direction then.
Yeah.
George Miller's direction.
It was kind of music video-like in a lot of ways, which some people would think would be a bad thing.
Hyper real.
Yeah. Because there's a sort of a record of music video directors making films and they're not too much style over content. But this didn't. This was...
Yeah.
Mad Max is supposed to have style. It's
Absolutely.
Not, it's not
and how old's the director? 70 years old, apparently, something like that.
No, is he 45 or 47?
No, he's about 70, mate. He's old. He's
if
quite
he's
old.
45. Yeah, if he's 45, because I was looking at the year he was born, so he's 45.
The year.
The year, right? Yeah.
But compare when you think about other films that he's made, like
Babe, was it?
Yeah.
He even made what's it called? The Penguin animated film.
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet.
That's it.
Yeah.
How fucking far off, almost Ang Lee-like, far off from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, Ang Lee made some different films. Yeah, he's made a lot of different films. But yeah, George Miller's.
Well, I immediately want him to direct the next one, and I want him to do it now.
Yeah. Which he's probably working on it. Well, it depends whether it's successful or not.
And he's signed on.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's
But
signed on.
I think it's all hanging on the success.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is clearly going to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, already, I mean, Alan just looked at the figures it's already made since it's been out. What'd you say? It was 20-something
27 million. That's in 3 days.
Whew.
So if it carries on like that all week, you're looking at about 2 weeks of non-stop viewing.
And word of mouth is really positive.
And it's not really opening up against any other, except for Pitch Perfect 2.
Yeah, very good
That
point.
could be a big thing
Yeah,
because they've already put...
Obviously, Avengers is still out, but I think that's going to start dying down now.
Yeah. I think Avengers, has been up for 2 weeks?
It's already made $1 billion, though.
Yeah.
Avengers, yeah.
Wow.
24 days, it's made $1 billion.
This film deserves to make $1 billion.
Yeah, I think, well, it's a 15 here, so I don't know if that's a rated R in America or not.
What? This?
This is a 15 here.
Yeah, it's going to...
Yeah, that would... Yeah, probably in America, yeah.
I mean, they have PG-13 over there, well, they used
to. But it
it
wasn't overly violent. It wasn't overly violent.
There
wasn't a lot of blood, I didn't think.
There wasn't a lot of blood.
No.
You saw a lot of people getting shot. Like in it,
yeah.
If there wasn't the chest cavity being blown off and his mask coming off and the whole baby scene, that could have easily passed as a 12. Because you've seen movies where they get shot. Well, not easily, but it would have probably been a 12A.
I think they might have... Some of the grotesqueness of
the characters.
The villains would have been a bit... I mean, you can't take a 10-year-old to sit and... What's his name? Immortan Joe. That's going to scare a lot of fucking kids.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think of that, yeah.
It's all like the bodies being run over and blown out and shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
15.
15,
It's
15.
pretty
yeah,
good.
15.
Yeah.
That's pretty. It's not an 18. There was no swearing, was there? There was no.
No. But going back to George
Miller.
Yeah, the direction was spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
in terms of like performance wise, I mean, there wasn't a lot of performances in it. It was, I mean, how many lines were in the film altogether?
There
Not a
wasn't
lot.
much.
no.
There wasn't major talks between them or anything like that.
Yeah.
Charisse Theron and Tom Hardy probably had. I wouldn't be surprised if they had no more than 4 pages worth of dialogue or maybe something like that between them. But
they didn't need it.
no, they didn't.
It's all done in the facial expressions and.
But he said that he wanted to be able to show the film to Japanese and Chinese audiences without subtitles.
I'm sure he's going to succeed there.
It's just a visual story, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing with Road Warrior especially. It really feels like I don't know what came out first. I don't know whether Fist of the North Star.
Oh, with the old manga.
Yeah, the old anime. Whether that came out first or whether this came out, because the character design in Road Warrior was exactly the same as the character design in Fist of Legend. Even Fist of the North Star, because Fist of the North Star character Kenshiro actually looks like Mad Max in terms of the black hair, the outfit, you know, the padding, the shoulder, the American football padding on the jackets and everything else looks exactly like Road Warrior. So it kind of reared off there, but yeah. But again, Mr. Miller, I think no directors now could watch that film. Even directors who have made big budget movies, like the younger guys, watch that movie, watch what he's done with that, and just take note. That's what I'm saying.
Michael Bay take note too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
CGI doesn't solve everything. You could actually do.
You can't have everything in slow motion.
Well, it's like you said. If another director had done it, it probably would have been a CGI fest.
Yeah, those car chases would not have been like that. No way. They can't even do it Fast and Furious, for God's sake. And you think they will be able to do it in another movie? No, it wouldn't.
If anyone else directed it, it would be like another just an origin story. It wouldn't be a sequel. It would be a reboot. And we just don't need any more reboots.
Yeah.
You say that.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do a reboot or a remake, again, you got to look at that and just take note, because that's proper right there. We've seen the originals. We've seen RoboCop, the original RoboCop, classic, all-time classic. Then they go and remake it and it's an absolute pile of shit. Total Recall, again, it was. Total Recall, classic. Then they go and remake that or reboot it or whatever. Yeah, but this... Did he write the script as well, or...?
It's possible. I think he had help. I think this film's been in the making for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, even back in like 2010, Tom Hardy was talking about. So they didn't start shooting it till 2012. So that's 2 years of.
So I mean, he's had a few films have come out since that came out.
How long has that been shot? You said it's 2012.
2010. Tom Hardy first talked about getting the role in 2010.
Right, okay.
So they didn't start shooting until 2012. So you can imagine the financial back and forth that was going on.
Yeah, and the changes in the script.
Yeah. It was written by George Miller, Brendan McCarthy and Nico Lathoris. But it's all George Miller's his baby, isn't it? Yeah, his creation.
It's only right that he comes back and films it again, but...
I want to see him do more action films.
Yeah. I don't know what his next project's going to be. I mean,
it's nice to see like an older director at his age do a film like that. It just shows the young boys up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
And it kind of disproves what Tarantino says about, like, you know, he says like the directors really rarely... Well, I suppose it's true that you know, rarely will you know, the best directors, their best work will rarely be when they're old. It'll be when they were younger.
No,
you know, if I was a filmmaker, I'd like to think that I'd be, you know, making movies till the very end.
Scorsese's doing that though. Even when you see some of the stuff he comes out with, and he's still got it.
Yeah.
He still has got it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It says not here. There's nothing up next for George Miller. There's no. I think
you could just take it easy.
Maybe Happy 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
They just got shows his flexibility as well, and his adaptability. You know, he makes live action movies, then he goes and does an action. He goes and does an animated movie, and then he comes and does this.
Yeah.
It's like what?
He won an Oscar for Happy Feet. The other films he's done, like what was Lorenzo's Oil and Baby, got nominated for best director and best film and all that.
Yeah,
so.
it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Okay, and what about negatives? Is there any negatives?
Yeah, it's like what I said. His accent.
That's
It's
really
the only
it for
thing
you?
that really put me off. Apart from that, I can't find. Again, it sounds cliche, but I can't actually find any faults in it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that at the moment.
Yeah.
You maybe need to watch it again.
Watch
but,
it again, maybe in.
but I think again it would just be nitpicky
Yeah.
because it is what it is. The film is what it is,
Mm.
and that's what you went to go see it for.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not expecting
Mm.
a Mike Lee fucking character, introvert, looking at themselves and. But overall, yeah, loved it. My favourite film so far this year.
Mm.
I haven't seen many films, but
Although you did make a statement about Ex Machina.
yeah, but then
Two entirely different films, but
two totally. But I saw Mad Max after that.
oh yeah, that's
So-
true. Yeah, so yeah.
So I
And
was
this
like,
is a film you need to see in the cinema.
Mm.
Seriously, guys, you got to see it in the cinema.
Maybe even in the biggest screen you can.
Yeah, don't let this be another Edge of Tomorrow where nobody
Yeah.
went to see it. It made no money, and now we may never get a sequel to that. We need
Yeah.
people to go see this.
if you watch it on pirate, you're killing us all.
Says the man who's got how much of films on his terrible hard drive?
Fuck you! I got no films. not
Straight up,
not mainstream Hollywood
Straight,
films.
read.
Independent home movies.
On Netflix.
All right, so let's talk about action scenes. What was your favourite scene?
Oh, Mifa. It was just that whole last half hour was just relentless fucking carnage and just frenetic, kinetic, just
Edge of your seat.
edge of your seat. I could
Thrill ride.
like I said with the coke I was holding and the straw was still in my mouth and I could see Ersan like fist sort of going his hand.
Yeah. There was a couple of bits where I wanted to look over and look at you guys, but I was like, I'm going to miss something. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you can't blink because you'll miss. You'll miss. Each shot was just like fucking painting.
It was just meticulously planned, every shot. I mean, the storyboard in this film, you can see it was detailed.
I know we're talking about favourite bits, but I have to mention that the colours, the sand doesn't even look like real. Like, where did they get this? Like, you think they imported sand from? Well, they made the sand
was quite
themselves.
thick. It wasn't as
The colour of it is like.
The first time, because I think all the others were filmed in Australia. I think this one was filmed. Was it Namibia or something like that?
Namibia.
Namibia.
yeah.
Yeah. So must be a unique place.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, because it was a bit of a mixture. Because you had rocks, you had mountain rocks, and then you had the deserts and that. So.
I think most of the budget of that film obviously went on all the trucks and the
cars. When the transport
and
was obviously
obviously
had to
the
take them over to those areas.
pyrotechnics, explosions.
Yeah, although there was some of it that was enhanced by visual effects. I remember I remember you putting up a post on Facebook with a before and after trailers comparison or something. Sorry,
but it wasn't CG trucks. They were
No.
They obviously filmed it and then superimposed them together.
The only CG that I actually noticed at all during the whole film was the lizard at the beginning with the two heads.
Yeah, the sandstorm was pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean that was
pretty big CG.
But it was so well done.
Yeah,
and the camera work as well. Though it was like from far away and then coming all the way in.
Yeah,
but that's the good thing about it, because the film was like talking about CG. Because there was hardly any in it, they can spend so much time making those scenes look that good. That when they did use it, like that lizard with the two heads, that was brilliant. The way they done that.
Yeah.
It did look a bit dodgy when he was eating it or whatnot, but apart from that, the way they done that was brilliant, and everything else, yeah.
Did you guys think when he ate that? It's like I bet he ate that for real.
Nah. Where would you get a two-headed lizard?
No man, it could have been a real lizard.
Right
that
there,
one.
over there on that island.
You think somehow he really ate
They
one?
went method on that bit.
Yeah.
That wasn't. There was no way that was Old Boy. But going back to favourite scenes, I think my one was the opening bit when what were they called? The guys with the spikes. The
Oh yeah.
Oh, the other gang.
yeah, that other gang, and you know
They
they
were
come
like
with their
chucking
cars.
spears
Yeah,
at the cars.
that was just fucking that. When you saw that, just when they're rolling up, first they throw a spike, they blow up the motorcycle, I think it was, or was it another? No, it was a car. They blow that up and they're chucking all these spears, and it's just like the armor on the fucking vehicles just eating those spears. You know, they're launching grenades at them, and it's eating them, and just nothing's happening. They do other stuff as well. Just the whole pacing of that was just fucking amazing. And then yeah, that leads straight into the war party catching up with them, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And then,
straight away
yeah.
they're there, and then they hit the sandstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that whole beginning of it was just, for me, was...
Yeah, actually, that whole bit actually must last for quite a while. That's
It
three.
does.
That's three action bits you just talked about there.
All together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One after the other. It must have
Yeah.
been about half an hour,
Yeah.
maybe more.
But when it's finally stopped, I was just like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck was that? So, yeah. What about yours?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think I might have to agree with Ersan on that bit, on that one. I think I do like that segment we have, those three action sequences, and then you have that breather at the end. That whole bit. I agree. But also the ending was just unreal.
Yeah.
It is unreal. It's difficult. It's how good it was. It's difficult to pick a best bit.
It is. I mean, the end scene was obviously, like we mentioned earlier, the homages to Road Warrior 2. The certain character references with the one had the crossbow on his arm and his mask that he was wearing on as well. Even the whole ending bit where the guy, he comes in from the back and he's trying to get them. It's like the same guy that, I don't know if you remember in Road Warrior 2 when he's driving the truck and one of the bad guys ends up locking on his shoulder or something like that. He's pulling on his shoulder. He's got some claw hand or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was like kind of homage to that as well. But the girl with the little melody toy,
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. And obviously the way it ended, I actually thought it was quite an emotional ending. Maybe some people might find that a bit cheesy, but I didn't. I
See,
actually
do you
felt
know what
it.
you're also forgetting about? When you're saying this emotionally, it wasn't just the way it ended, but it was the whole lead up to that, because she reunites with all her Charisse Theron, Furiosa, ends up reuniting with her old clansmen, shall we say, and then they all end up getting killed off right towards the end, you know, when it's all of that's happening, and they're just, you know, they're holding a fort and they're shooting at all these people, but then, you know, they're dying because they know that at the end of the day, this is that still what I'm looking for. But yeah, they all end up getting, you know, killed and everything else.
So she's like the last of her clan in a way.
Although I think one of the older women survives as well, don't they? Or they don't.
I'm not sure.
Mm.
No, the
But
one
yeah,
died who had
it's the whole sadness. I mean, all of that, you're seeing deaths happen to these characters, and then
Yeah, even actually the pregnant girl. I wasn't expecting her to die. In fact, I wasn't expecting any of them to die.
No.
But they actually got picked off. Well, a couple of them was some of the old ladies on the bikes. Actually, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All the nans on the bikes. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it's just one after the other. Brilliant sequence after brilliant sequence. There's nothing really much more you can really say about it other than go see it. Definitely.
Get off your fucking arse.
Yeah.
pay your hard-earned cash money.
Fucking see the film.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See it twice.
Yeah.
See it thrice.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is our second episode. This is Adrian Conlon signing off.
Ersan Turk.
Allan Ashton.
Thanks, guys.